Hey guys, Vancouver real estate market update, September 2022. What's going on in the market? Who should be buying or selling right now? So the September stats are out and there were significantly fewer sales compared to this time last year and last month. The number of listings were slightly up compared to this time last year and last month. So more inventory, fewer sales. Interest rates, right? Interest rates went up a bunch in a short period of time. So obviously, people can borrow less money, a little bit of a punch in the gut. I think that's caused some people to pull back a little bit. I mean, what it has done, it has created some uncertainty in the market. And when buyers are uncertain, they tend to pull back. Sellers tend to jump in, depending, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about buyers and what they're thinking and what I'm kind of seeing out there. I think there's some people out there that are a little bit timid right now. They think prices might come down even more. And they're just going to be sitting on the fence, right? Waiting to see how low they go. And I think there's, if you're doing that, do that with extreme caution. The bottom of the market, when we find out when the bottom of the market is, it's typically gone back up and then there's a bit of a feeding frenzy, right? So just use caution if that's your game plan. For people that, are just a little, they're in the market, but they're a little bit iffy. I mean, I think ultimately what people need to do right now, what buyers need to do right now is take the interest rate. Say if you've been looking for a little while, take the interest rate when you first had like a rate hold, right? What was your payment? Like what was the property worth that you were planning to buy at that interest rate? I would bet you that while the interest rate is lower, that property price is higher, okay? So now take your payment today and the value of the property today. So it's going to be a higher payment, but it's likely that the price of the property is going to be down. Now for the areas that I service mostly in Vancouver, Kitsilano, Mount Pleasant, downtown, Fairview, Falls Creek, the average price now is very similar to that of 12 months ago, give or take, depending on the type of property. Okay, so have your mortgage broker do the math. Talk to your realtor. If you don't have a realtor, talk to me. I will just do this out of the kindness of my heart, no obligation whatsoever. But I'll share those numbers with you depending on your neighborhood and your property type of where things are today and where they were when you first started looking at that lower rate. And then talk to your broker and say, hey, what was my payment back then and what would my payment be now? I think for most people, you're still going to be able to accomplish what you set out to do in the beginning. And on top of that, if you went into a variable rate mortgage right now, when interest rates go down, whenever that will be, who knows, let's just say a couple of years, let's just say a few years, you can just refinance into the lower rate as well, okay? And if that's happening, then your property value is going to be going up. So you're kind of getting in lower. Yeah, the interest rate's a little bit higher, but then you're getting in lower, and then you can refinance into a lower rate as the property value goes up. Okay, so keep that in mind. Get those numbers, get clear on that so you can make a good decision. So buyer's market versus seller's market. There's still some neighborhoods out there that are deemed a seller's market. And of course, we've got some that are certainly a buyer's market. And there's a lot of places that are just balanced, right? And I think the hurdle for people to get through is, some of these seller's markets were like 8 out of 10 properties were selling every month, 80% of the properties. That's bananas, okay? And now those same areas are more like 3 out of every 10. But that's still deemed a seller's market, okay? But it's just a big difference, right? So it's hard to make that adjustment. But when you look at things historically, that's still it's still a seller's market, right? So I think more so big picture kind of thing. So who should be buying or selling right now? I mean, if you're getting into the market, yes, I truly in my heart of hearts think that if you're ready and if you have the finances, you should move forward. Get all the information that you need, make an informed decision, right? But I don't think you should need to worry about, is this a good time to buy? Yes, I do think it is a good time to buy, okay? So don't sweat that. Anybody that's upsizing, absolutely. You might sell a little lower, but if you're upsizing, that means that property is going to be more expensive, so you're buying the more expensive property a little lower. The only people that maybe you should hesitate a little bit would be downsizers, and that of course will depend on their situation. If you don't have a mortgage or anything like that, and you're obviously living in your part of your retirement plan and that sort of thing, and if it's easy living, then yeah, I don't know, wait another few years, see if prices come back up, right? Anyways, so that's sort of my snapshot. One other thing I'll leave you with right now is, the last couple of weeks I've noticed a lot more activity, showing activity on our listings. We just got an accepted offer on a listing in a multiple offer situation. It was under the asking, but still we got a couple offers. Another unit in that same building, they got 2 offers and it's sold for over the asking. And I'm also hearing this from other colleagues that they're encountering some multiple offer situations. Not to scare you or anything like that, but just to say, make sure you're ready. And if you want to make an offer on a property, be confident about that offer and tie it up quick. Okay, tie it up quick. Talk to the listing realtor. Be like, hey, is your seller available? If we make an offer, can we get a response within a few hours, within 5 hours, by this evening? That sort of thing, okay? So tighten that up. But if you're going to do that, make sure it's a good offer. Okay, don't go crazy or else somebody else is going to come in and you're going to lose the property, right? So anyways, I wish you all luck out there. Any questions, you want neighborhood information, market information, you want to bounce some questions off me, no obligation whatsoever. I'm here to help.